The historic play Macbeth explores the abstract view of spirituality during the Jacobean era. Within the play, Shakespeare attempts to microcosm the concept of witches in the Jacobean era, for many had the preconceived attitude to witches in which they had an abhorrent view of their malevolent nature, and reflects his view of spirituality in the three witches. The first experience of the witches in Macbeth is when they appear in Act 1, Scene 1, when they are conversing ominously when they shall meet again, when they all state, "Fair is foul, and foul is fair." It is here where the audience first judge what kind of character the witches are, for the conception of fair is bad and foul is good. This was evident when they stated fair is foul, meaning anything fair or good is foul, something filthy or nasty. Note that during the Jacobean era, witches were thought to be wicked in nature and speak in riddles, often convoluting outside listeners. Due to this quote, the audience can understand that these three women are witches, however, do not know their clear intentions. Audiences soon encounter the witches or their power for a second time in Act 1, Scene 3, when Macbeth states, "So foul and fair day I have not seen." Shakespeare writes this for he wants to foreshadow the salient connection between the witches and Macbeth. This line may also show that the witches have powers, being able to implant things within Macbeth's mind. This scene continues when Banquo and Macbeth stumble across three women, the witches, which Banquo describes them as, "look not like the inhabitants of earth, and yet on it." Banquo states this for he believes the three women do not look like women of earth. This is shown when he states the inhabitants, claiming they belong from another planet. Note that during the Jacobean era, witches were thought to look abnormal in appearance. This continues when suddenly the witches state, "All hail Macbeth! Hail thee, Thane of Glamis! All hail Macbeth! Hail thee, Thane of Cawdor! All hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter." This quote states that Macbeth is Thane of Glamis and Cawdor, and will end up as king. This comes as a shock to Macbeth, for he is already the Thane of Glamis, but there's already a Thane of Cawdor and a king. Without knowing it, the malevolent nature of the witches have planted the seed of regicide in Macbeth's head. It is here where spirituality is shown to influence someone in a pernicious way, for the witches understand human nature and can manipulate it. Macbeth goes on to follow the witches, however they vanish into thin air. Shakespeare also incorporates spirituality into this scene, for it was unlike people in the Jacobean era to follow those who were suspected of witchcraft. This also shows that Macbeth is starting to be consumed by his prophecy of being king. The second time Macbeth meets with the witches after their prophecy was proven, Macbeth is egocentric in his implacable pursuit to acquire his destiny, for he believes the witches are immune to be infallible and have a plethora of power to show him his future. Macbeth is shown visions, but to the witches' wicked nature, they are distorted to corrupt Macbeth into believing a false sense of protection. Spirituality is shown here by the witches in the form of affecting Macbeth negatively, acting outside of society, however using their power to manipulate people for the worst. It is shown in Macbeth that spirituality can be a powerful tool to influence people. However, it's up to the person to choose whether to use it negatively, by corrupting people, or positively, to give people a sense of clarity, to follow their morals and values.